Hey guys, happy Monday. Today I have a very exciting new collection. It just got delivered and of course I hauled my butt downstairs to my makeup room so I could film some swatches, give you guys an eye look, and talk about this new collection from Lethal Cosmetics. So if you're interested, just keep watching. If you guys are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Karen Harris. I like to film tan girl friendly makeup videos here on my channel. From indie to high-end to luxury makeup, you'll find it all here. So when I first got on YouTube, I had the hardest time finding swatches of new makeup releases for my skin tone. So that's why I started my channel. If you like the idea of that, if that sounds good to you, I would highly recommend subscribing. I do upload pretty much every day. I am having a baby soon, so I don't know how the uploads will be, but I like to give you guys a little heads up so you know, especially if you're new to my channel. Please don't forget to subscribe, turn on that bell so you're notified every time I post. And without further blabbering, let's get into it. Okay guys, so if you are new to Lethal Cosmetics, they are a indie brand based out of Germany, and their new collection is called the Berlin 89 collection, and it's inspired by the fall of the Berlin Wall. And this palette features 9 mattes, 2 metallics, and 1 multi-chrome shadow. It does retail for $37. So it says, inspired by the fall of the Berlin Wall and its role as a reminder that we are not meant to be divided and that all walls built to keep us apart will be torn down in time. This palette captures the essence of Berlin in late 80s and 90s, the colorful, the gray, the beautiful, and the ugly. It's an homage to our hometown, featuring 12 brand new shadows in our tried and true magnetic formula, including Breakthrough, our first ever pressed multi-chrome. So there's 12 eyeshadows, 9 mattes, 2 metallics, 1 multi-chrome, 12 grams, 0.42 ounces, made in Berlin with a 24-month shelf life. They also have all the ingredients listed. This palette is also cruelty-free and 100% vegan. Okay, so the shade names are Transit, East and West, THF, Zone, Republic is like the most beautiful, like mustardy yellow. Then we have Block, Breakthrough, Sputnik, Prefab, Reunion, Berlin, and Checkpoint. So hopefully you guys can see the swatches. Okay, they also have 2 new Glitch liquid shadows. These retail for $21 a piece. So we have the shade Bandwidth, which is a multi-dimensional silver. And then we have Syntax, which is an intense true gold. And then there is a Berlin 89 liner bundle. These are their Side Effects gel liners, all 89 liners in one bundle for $55.80. So you do save some money, or you can purchase them individually for $15.50. We have 4 shades. So we have Disciple, which is a matte deep brown, Input, which is a matte burnt orange, Signal, which is a matte ivy green, and Vinyl, a warm purple matte. I hope you enjoyed the swatches and all of the things. This collection is pretty big, pretty eye look heavy, so I love that. I'm so excited to play with the palette, so excited to try out some of these new eyeshadow toppers and the gel liners. Of course, you guys know I love Lethal's gel liners, so I'm so happy to have more shades this time around. So very, very exciting stuff. Okay guys, so I need a little bit of feedback from y'all. Let me know, do you like to see swatches, like live swatches, or is that a huge waste of time? Would you rather me just like pop them on the screen like this while I'm talking about the collection, or just kind of like a voiceover? Or do you like the live swatches? I also really would love to know if you guys like to see multiple looks in a video, or if it's okay if I just do one look and give you guys my first impressions. I know some people do 2 looks, so they'll do 1 look on one eye and another look on the other eye, and they'll say that's 2 looks. I don't think there's a right or wrong way to do it. I'm just curious what you guys prefer, because to me, I like the cohesion of just having 1 eye look on both eyes. But maybe you guys don't really care about that. Maybe you would rather see variety and see 2 different looks. So I am looking for feedback. Take a shot every time I say look in this video, because I just want to know what you guys think. I personally like to do the same look on both eyes, but if you guys don't care and I can do different looks and that's more helpful, I'm dying for your feedback. So let me know. I feel like I've jabbered on enough, so let's go ahead and get into a eye look. I'm going to start off with a small brush. I'm grabbing the E27 Detail Blending from the Sigma line, and I'm going to go into the shade Berlin, which is such a pretty like orange color. Also, I mean, it's called the Berlin 89 palette. How could I not use the shade called Berlin? And so I'm just going to start that on the outer corner. And the reason I chose a small brush is because I'm hoping I can put multiple shadows in my crease. Sometimes I can get a little hairy, so I gotta be careful. The Lethal eyeshadow formula is pretty powdery, so you definitely want to remember to dust off your brush when you are applying these shadows, because you are gonna end up with a bunch of fallout otherwise. So be warned. Okay, I think that's a good amount of the orange. So I think I'm going to stop there. I think I'm going to use the shade Block, which is this red shade. I'm just sticking to the same brush, giving it a nice coating of color. Just going on the middle section of my crease and just pulling it a little bit onto my lid too. I think I'm going to use the multi-chrome. Okay, I'm going to grab a Lunar Beauty brush. This is the LBE number 5. And I'm going to go into the shade Zone, which is that pretty blue shade I was telling you guys about. And I'm going to tuck that into the outer corner and the crease, of course. This blue is actually building up really nicely, which is making me very, very happy because I was definitely nervous for the shade. But this is kind of a fun look. It reminds me of a look I did back in the day, back in the day when I got the Jawbreaker palette with Jeffree Star and Jeffree Star Cosmetics. And I did like a orange blue look. I've done orange blue looks since then too, but I can't remember like off the top of my head. I just remember the one from the Jawbreaker palette because I still remember like what I was wearing and all of the things. But I like this Lunar Beauty brush, so I'm just using it to build up the color because I think it's depositing the color really well. The Sigma brush did a good job too, but this is more like a shadow brush and it's easier to pack with this, so I'm just packing it on. I really don't need it on the lid, but I'm kind of enjoying it. Okay, so I kind of love the lids. I'm like living for this matte sunset beachy moment. I don't know, that was my inspiration. Trying to figure out what I want to do on the lids. If I want to do one of the Glitch products, if I want to do a liner, what do I want to do? There's so many options. Or do I want to go in with the beautiful multi-chrome in this palette, which is their first multi-chrome that they've ever done, which is kind of a big deal. This color reminds me a lot of the Pat McGrath multi-chrome in Divine Rose 2. So if you don't have that palette or you can't get it, especially in Europe, I don't know what the availability is like. I mean, I'm assuming you can get Pat McGrath there if you already have that shade, but I know for like indies and stuff, sometimes it can be hard to get a hold of multi-chrome. So I am just dusting off the fallout and also powdering my under eyes because I forgot to do that earlier. I do have a Lethal bronzer on. I did grab my face palettes from them that they sent me a while ago, so I do have this bronzer on from this palette that they sent me, and I wasn't sure what colors I was going to use on my eyes. I did hold off on blush and highlighter until I figured out what color story I was going to do. Okay, let's be brave. Let's try out the multi-chrome. Let's see what happens. I'm probably just going to put it all over my lid. All I'm going to do is wet the flat brush and just drag it over my lid, and hopefully it'll turn out great. So my camera only films in like 30-minute spurts, and it cut off right when I was filming putting the multi-chrome on this eye. So hopefully you saw most of it, but I haven't done my right eye yet. So we get another shot. So I would say highly recommend spraying this thing because it creates some fallout because it's a different texture from their matte shadows, and so I think if you spray it, it definitely grips onto the lid better, and you're not wasting eyeshadow by dropping it all over your face. So just a little tip from me, because I've already played with it, but if you want to venture out and do it how you like, that's fine too. Spraying it more definitely helped get it to stick on this eye, because I had a ton of fallout while I was working on this eye, and I don't know if the camera is going to pick it up, but that is the look pretty much on the top half. Now for the lower lash line, I have to use one of these liners in my waterline. I'm trying to think of which shade. I feel like the green is out because I don't really think that'll complement the look. I loved the two browns, like the sienna shade. I think Decibel or Input are gonna be my options. So I love how like chocolatey brown this is. So I think I'm gonna go with that. Okay, so I grabbed this like Sephora brush for the liner, and I'm just gonna put it in my waterline. So I'll just pick up a little bit, and I'm just gonna, ooh, this is so creamy. Now I don't have sensitive eyes, but I know my friend Teresa is dead does. And she loves using these in her waterline, so love to do that too. I love to use them in my waterline because they have such a unique color story when it comes to their gel liners. I don't know of another brand that has as many colors as Lethal does, so I just went ahead and put that in my waterline. I'm going to give it a second to set, and while that sets, I'm going to work on the rest of my face makeup. So like I said, I did grab my Lethal palette, so I'm going to use this peachy shade on my cheeks because you guys know how much I love a good peachy blush, and I'm just grabbing a Sigma brush, and I'm just going to show you guys how pigmented these blushes are. So definitely you want to go in with a very light hand. They have so many gorgeous colors. I know they have like a really wide range of blushes, highlighters, bronzers, contour shades, and you can customize everything. They have pre-made ones, and they have a customized option as well on their website. So if you don't like the shades they have pre-selected, you can definitely make your own face palette. You can do whatever you want, and I love that option with brands that offer like different build your own palette type situations. And then this, I'm going to go in with this same highlighter. So this palette is pre-made. I don't know exactly what it's called, but I'll link it in my description box for you guys so that you can find it easily. And it's like a pretty peachy highlighter. So I'm just going to apply that where I usually apply highlighter. And then I just used a little bit of the ABH Dewy Set to set my makeup. And while that dries up, I'm going to use a Lethal lipstick, and I'm going to use the shade Myth, which is like a pretty brown shade. You guys know I love a good brown nude, and I love these Lethal lipsticks. I haven't used these in a while. They look white like this because it's so cold here. Nothing wrong with the lipsticks, and I might pull these out actually for my Shop My Stash because I was using the Lisa Aldridge ones last week, so it is time for me to switch it up. Okay, so you can definitely do this with a lip liner. You guys know I don't usually wear lip liners. I just like to go straight in with the bullets. So yeah, this is the shade Myth from the Lethal lipstick line. And like I said, I'll link everything in my description box in case you guys want to shop, just to make it a little bit easier. Now we need to finish up the lower lash line so I can be done with this look and throw on some mascara. So I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with the lower lash line. I feel like I don't know if I want to mirror the top because I feel like that's going to turn a little bit too much circus clown, but maybe we'll put some blue on the outer corner and pull in some of that orange. So let's start off with the shade Zone. So I'm just grabbing a Sonia G Pencil Pro, and I'm just going to put that on the outer corner, bring it in about halfway. I have such a fold here in my lower lash line. It always like drags like halfway to my basically cheek when I put eyeshadow on, but honestly I don't really care. It's a little dramatic, but I mean, it's just makeup, and if it doesn't bother me, I don't think it should bother anyone else. And I'm just trying to connect it with the top half. Wait, yeah, I really gotta wiggle the brush in there to get it into those folds, because otherwise you can see like there's a huge crease there and then there's no eyeshadow, so I really gotta dig the brush in there to get it in the lower lash line. I know. These are my first world problems. I think the shade Checkpoint's gonna be really beautiful to pair with the multi-chrome, so I'm gonna use that on the first half of my lower lash line here. And I'm just gonna, ooh, I kind of love this. I kind of feel like a badass. How fun is this? It's so colorful. Okay, and then I'm gonna go into the shade Transit, which is like a really pretty gray purple duochrome, and I'm using that as the inner corner. Oh, it's so pretty. And I'm just pulling that from here all the way down into my lower lash line. I love it. I've been really going hard on the inner corners these days, and I'm not mad about it at all because I think it really like pops with the makeup. So I think that color would also be really pretty in the brow bone, but I'm gonna leave it alone because it's got a bit of gray in it and I don't want to make it muddy. Okay, friends, so here is the final look, mascara and all. Overall, I really like how this turned out. Definitely a little bit outside the box for me as far as the color story goes. It's like a grungy, colorful palette, which I feel like I have been playing with a lot of grungy palettes lately, but they're mostly like green, grungy shades and like the fall pumpkin spice kind of shades. So it's been fun to experiment with this palette. It's definitely like a more muted vibe, and the packaging really kind of gives you a sneak peek of what the inside of this palette is like. I also love that they included the multi-chrome. I think that really like gives it a little extra, you know, and I really like this shade too, the shade Transit that I used on the inner corner. It's not a multi-chrome, but it's a beautiful like grayish purple shade, so I think it'll pair really well with a lot of the matte shades in this palette. And I didn't get to use the shade Reunion, but it's a beautiful gold shade. And yeah, so far all the mattes I played with are very consistent to the lethal quality that I'm used to, so I think this is a very nice palette. I also love the packaging, how sleek it is. I love the theme, the whole thing about the fall of the wall and things like that. You know, it's kind of a little sneak peek into where lethal is based, which I think is wonderful to celebrate. And yeah, everything else I tried was very much the consistency that I'm used to. The gel liner worked really well, so I'm very excited to have 4 new shades, plus you guys know I'm going to be playing with this green shade Signal. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I love green anything, so that is the key to my heart. So those are going to be in my shop, my stash for the week for sure. These I need to try out on my eyeballs as well. I was kind of contemplating adding this on the lid, but I feel like I want the multi-chrome to shine in this look, so loving that. Love this whole combo. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Was this a palette you were interested in, or was it an easy pass? You guys know I love hearing from you. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to leave me some feedback on the whole eye look situation. Really want to know what you guys think. If there is something I can improve on, it's always very helpful to get your constructive feedback. And yeah, that is it, guys. I hope you're having a wonderful Monday. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all your support, and I will see you in my next video tomorrow. Bye, y'all.